I remember when I started my YouTube video years ago, man, years and years ago, probably like 7, 8 years ago now. It was around probably, I want to say my son was like 1 year old. So maybe 7 years ago now. And the nature of my thoughts was I just want to document my stuff, put it up on a platform where it's not going to get lost, and I'll be able to kind of look back and see what's going on, both with me physically and mentally, because I'm talking in these videos and I could always track back and go from there. I never thought I was going to get an audience. I thought maybe one or two people who are kind of doing the same thing, share ideas, but not to this extent, not at all, far from it. That was kind of the idea of it. But I remember very, very strongly, and this is something that's kind of burned into my skull, and I've mentioned it a few times in the past. When I first started it, and I had 0 subscribers, I taught some people in my life, the really immediate people were like, yeah, whatever, that's cool, dude, you do you. But then there were some people in my life who flat out said, dude, man, take yourself down, man. You're embarrassing yourself. You're a father now. You're embarrassing yourself. What are you doing? Why would you want to put stuff like that and talk about like you're embarrassing? I'm embarrassed listening to you. Put that down. I remember hearing these thoughts, these lines from people. People used to tell me this, and I remember, being shaken by that, because I remember recording the first few videos. I was like hella nervous. I was like, I couldn't believe I sound like this on video. If you've ever recorded yourself or watched yourself on video, it's kind of an awkward experience initially. And so these people are kind of giving me this feedback, and I'm like feeling really, really rattled by it. But knowing my nature and my stubbornness, when somebody says to me, you can't do this, you can't, you shouldn't, you're bad, it almost kind of feeds the fuel for this very fire. And I was like, cool, let me be embarrassed. And part of my courage came from having my son. I kind of took a step mentally when he was born, because I no longer cared about people teasing me, making fun of me, maybe I'm not good enough, and all these types of thoughts. I'm a father now, and I live for him, and I want to make him proud. And these obstacles, which once I thought were not relevant and not needed to climb over, now they are, because now I have something that I'm fighting for that is much better than me, my child. And that kind of gave me this confidence to put up with the hate. And it gave me the fuel to do good. And it's not, to be the strongest squatter or anything that vain. It was simply to be confident in front of an audience, in front of myself, in front of other people that have never really heard me talk like this. Even if my auntie listens to this, it's like, I've never spoken to my auntie about monologuing my thoughts about whatever. And so even that in itself, one view was kind of like, it was kind of strange to think about, and it was kind of embarrassing at first. But I thought, you know what, I'm a man now. I've got a son. I have to fight these thoughts, and I have to push forward. And so now that I'm fully confident in my skin and I've done all of this, I look back at some of these thoughts and I think to myself, man, sometimes it takes something profound to happen to you, like for me, becoming a father, to actually give you the courage to go through with this. But I think to myself, what if I had this courage when I was 16, 17? How much of my decisions were simply just me being scared of failure, or me being scared of being put down by other people? Because I reckon if I tried to do YouTube or do this when I was 16, I would have ran away. I would have ran away. There was no way I would have done this. People teasing me, I find myself very easy. I was 27, 28 when I started the YouTube channel. I've got a wife, a kid, a house, a car. I'm set. You can't touch me. But when you don't have anything and these words find you, it is very, very daunting. And I can see how people run away. I can see how people run away from this stuff. And for those of you that are much younger than I was, I encourage you, have conviction, believe in yourself, believe in the vision that you have, and don't let these haters, man, try and derail you from what you see. Make them believers. Now that I have 100,000 followers, these same people that told me I was embarrassing come and ask me, hey, how's your YouTube channel? They think it's pretty cool. And I think to myself, I would never say that to them, but I think to myself, isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? You hated me, and now you kind of think it's cool. Ivan's a kind of cool guy. I wouldn't mind hanging around with him. Interesting stuff. But never forget those people who have doubted you and who tried to make your life a little bit more harder than it should have been. I'm a big believer of uplifting people, build people up. Your neighbor, build him up. Because what are the chances that if he turns really successful, that you're not going to get anything out of it? In a weird roundabout way, whoever's in your circle or in your vicinity, whoever you build up and they're how successful, I reckon there is something for you to gain there. Even if it's a millimeter of positivity, I reckon there's something to be gained. But there's nothing to be gained about shitting on somebody while they're trying to do something that maybe requires bravery that you don't have. Interesting stuff, isn't it? Appreciate you guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.